Yeah, so does that pig. I wish she'd leave it alone. This stuff costs too much to feed pigs.
This one I was reading about something on the internet about fodder. There's somewhere around here that you
if you got horses, you can buy it from this lady.
Yeah.
It's about, I don't know, $2.65 a biscuit is what they call this. But it's live feed, and it's, you know, it's a good supplement for horses or alpaca.
Is it a special kind of grass?
It is a brand sprout growing in a grow box where they mist it and control the humidity. And I think it's 9 days old, something like that.
Yeah.
And because it's grown in a water tree, they will eat roots and all. So it all gets eaten.
Gotcha.
But these girls over here love it.
Look at them.
They're waiting very patiently. And that pig would just love to eat it all. So all four of these right here are Wakaya. There's two types of alpaca. Ted here is a Surrey. That's much rarer type of alpaca, the white one.
Okay.
World population on those is maybe 200,000. So this county, as unpopulated as it is, has more dogs than there are that white one in the world. Now we're about half and half here. We've got half Surrey, half Wakaya. When you feed animals that are nursing this stuff here, they'll get 20% more milk.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So that's a plus for that little one there.
This one here is so pretty. I love that.
Oh, Hirsch is sweet, but he's still mad at the world for getting neutered.
The color, though, I mean, his eyes are so pretty. They're so pretty.
Oh, he's a great animal. I mean, me and him have been hanging together for a long time.
Yeah.
He is really good around people, but he just doesn't like to be petted.
Yeah. And
Why
it's a
is there
shame
seeds
because
in that?
he's got the type of coat that just screams puppy.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a big sniffer, too. I mean, he'll get right up there close and personal to everybody, and he wants to know, you know, what brand of shaving cream you use, or hairspray, or perfume, or whatever.
Why is there seeds in there?
Huh?
Why is there seeds in there?
The seeds in there are bran seeds. So 2 pounds of bran seeds grows into, in 9-10 days, 18 pounds of fodder.
Wow.
Like what you see. So.
They love that stuff, don't they? Man.
Oh yeah, it's very digestible.
Yeah.
And then later I have to isolate that young one with their mom in the barn so that only they get it, because these two are fairly alphas. And I have to keep the pig out because the pig will flat just
Devour it.
The little pig will chase away the alpacas.
Oh, really? He does want to check everything out, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, he will. So we have 39 alpacas here.
Look, smile, Luke.
And somewhere or another we have every color they come in.
Yeah.
All of the shades from white to black, gray, fawn.
Look, and he's like so serious. Yeah.
If you touch the butt, they will, just like any goat, horse, whatever.
Kick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you touch the butt.
Yeah, I reminded Cortland not to stand behind him.
Yeah. I mean, these guys here are pretty good, but every once in a while they'll kick. They've never actually kicked anybody, and there's been over 20,000 people here. But every once in a while when you get rambunctious city kids that don't have parents that aren't capable of teaching children, they'll kick in the air because they can tell they're, you know, they're getting back there and they're loud and running and boisterous, and you can tell when those kids are out of control, and the animals know it. So on harvest day we'll get about 270 pounds of fleece.
Wow.
And each animal comes in 2 grades. And you can tell how, I don't know if you can see her mouth when she's eating, but no top teeth. They got a gum on the top.
So it seems like their teeth are more just for kind of tearing into that and less for chewing.
Yeah, they have molars in the back. And they do chew a cud. They've got that compartmented stomach just like a horse, a cow, other ruminants. So this is my high nutrition pen. These 5 animals here, they get extra because this girl's going to get shipped out for breeding. She is a color reserve champion for fleece, so her fleece is extraordinary.
Yeah, you can tell that color is just really beautiful.
Well, it's not just the color.
If we pet?
Well, no.
Probably not while they're eating, huh?
Well, no, let's see if she'll come down farther so you can... Hey.
Was that a spit?
Well, she's kicking the food back out. A spit is what llama's doing. That's a big green slime ball. So these guys are not anywhere near that crazy.
Yeah, that wool is just soft.
And there's a lot of it. So basically her fleece was picked the nicest fleece out of every color, and maybe around 200 animals. Uh-oh, now you fed the pig a whole clump. That's it.
See what you did?
How often is it they get
The
trimmed?
white one, yeah, we'll catch a halter and halter him up here in a minute.
How often do they get sheared?
Once a year. If you want to come and watch or help, you have to sign up, call us and get on the list, because we kind of limit it to around 30, 40 people. And so we kind of ask that we know what we're looking at. You know, when you're looking at an animal that's got the best out of 240, 250 fleeces, that's saying something.
Sure.
And people don't bring their average animal to the show.
Right.
And so she really has some things going for her. So I'm going to breed her to another animal that's of that character.
Sure.
But in some regards, I even like the other animal more because of the bloodline is Bolivian.
Oh, nice.
And that means that the animal is going to stay softer for very, very long time. Now, black is the most valuable color. These two here are pretty valuable animals. That black girl there, I could have never afforded to buy. Some very wealthy people gave her to us, very nice folks. And they gave her to us basically because we have that black boy. He's a Maserati in his own right, and when you've got animals that are 20, 30 generations of breeding for improvement, you don't go back and breed to a Chevrolet.
Right.
Unless you're just, not a thinking, analytical business person.
Right.
Because we do it all for a profit using the fleece.
Right.
It's not a hobby. These are a very good hobby animal, though. Because you can have them around kids, you don't have the issues, the no teeth, the no hoof. That's a pad like a dog, it's a toenail. And 80 cents a day to feed, that's cheaper than my dogs.
Oh, yeah.
And you get the fleece from them every year, so, that can be spun into yarns or felted into products, and it's a good thing for kids.
And they turn it into clothes and things like that?
Yeah.
Same thing with these animals. Their wool, I think, was...
Yeah, it's a alpaca.
Sheep's whole fleece is
You say
worth
paca?
$15. The way we process it out into product, I will make between $300 and $600 on each animal.
Because of the quality of their...
Yeah, well, it's being a high altitude animal. The animal has had to adapt in amazing ways. And high altitude, crazy high altitude. 10 to 15,000 feet in South America is where the big herds are. That's above tree line.
Yeah.
So the diet's very different. There's no broadleaf plants. They're all just thin blade grass. And it's going to freeze every night of the year because the mountains on both sides of that valley are taller yet. So healthy babies only born in the daytime, and a baby born close to sunset. This is the world's fastest drying fleece. So it will be totally dry before the sun goes down.
Your eyes are so big.
That is their primary defense at high altitude. They have such good eyes. You see that little house on the hill across the freeway? They have a chihuahua. Now, it's about the color of that dead grass up there, whatever it is. I can't see that thing till I pull out binoculars. These guys spot it every time it's out, and they make this little alert sound going. Well, of course, I pull out the binoculars, and there's that little chihuahua. But, they're also watching for coyotes or stray dogs or anything of that nature, so I always check.
Do you get coyotes out here very often?
They live here.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah,
I just don't know how they...
There's a pack of 10 of them that runs the wash that we own over here.
Oh, really?
And they've been good neighbors. I had coyotes when I was a kid. So as long as the coyote's just steady walking by, not staring at whatever he might be thinking about, leave him alone. But if he stops and he fixates and he stares, now he's thinking, he's planning.
Yeah.
That's when you might need to do something to save your pet, your whatever. We haven't had to shoot anything or hurt anything. And when I'm a proponent of leave him alone, because if you take out that one, who knows who's going to take his space.
Sure.
Another one's going to come into the range, and it may not be as friendly as the guy you just shot. So we've had pretty good luck with...
They've not attacked your herd
Never.
or anything?
We're very, what would you say, people either act reactively or proactively, and we're proactive. I've never had a single problem.
Gotcha.
The outside fence is 7 foot tall, hot wire.
Oh, yeah.
I got 5 dogs to keep the place safe.
Yeah, we saw all those dogs.
And it has worked. My neighbors over here, for example, like the pig. You see the pig, you think it's a pet, it's not. The pig is here to keep rattlesnakes away.
Ah.
They eat snakes. Snakes smell pigs. They don't want to come around. The other thing is you notice all the brush is cleaned up. Hawks will grab a snake, and snakes don't like to cross wide open areas because in their mind they must be aware of that's what's going to happen. So between the layers of protection, the pigs for snakes, the fence and the dogs for mountain lions and coyotes, we've never had a single issue. I've only had to shoot 2 snakes here in 10 years. My neighbors every year shoot 4, 5, 6.
Wow.
And they're just 800 feet away.
Yeah.
So the pig is working. If you live rural and you're not aware of that, you might want to get one of these little min pigs, and they're very food oriented, so they're easy to keep around. Feed him at the same time every day. He's never going to leave you.
Right. He knows where to eat.
Yeah. So that's standard, plus whatever they buy in the store. We'll have it turned into socks, yarns, some other products, rugs, stadium seat pads. Now, the fiber, because it is the fastest drying, in clothing it does not hold odors. No, we do that up in the store.
Oh, you do it up the store? Okay.
I need to keep track of everything. So the clothing will not hold odors. It will stay clean for 2 or 3 days. In South America, they use a string and they tie little flags on it to round them up. And they'll have people hold ends of the string. Here, I just use a piece of PVC. Here, you guys can pet on Mr. Ted here. You see how bright white he is when we get down in there? That's his actual color. That bright, shiny white. And in Surrey, that shine is what kind of makes them famous. So Surrey has a drape to it. The fleece will drape like a silk. It is still hypoallergenic, still fast drying.
You got a long neck.
Now the story on these animals and their existence, prior to the Spanish Inquisition, there were around 30 million in South America. The money in the Incan Empire was alpaca fiber. But so the Spanish tried to exterminate all the alpaca because it was a symbol of the Incan Empire and their money. So the Quechua tribe in the Incan Empire took 1,000 animals into a valley so high, so remote, that the Spanish didn't find that valley for 200 years. That is why we have alpacas today.
You want to get down?
So,
You want to pet him?
yeah, the Spanish were awfully tough on anybody that had an alpaca after they said get rid of them. They found an alpaca in a village, they would kill the entire village.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, we think about what went on in World War II as crazy and cruel, and it was. The Spanish took that to new levels when it came to alpacas.
But how do they kill the wild ones?
They aren't wild.
Oh, these are all domestic?
These are all domestic. They are. These animals were bred out of a wild animal called a vacuna. A vacuna to this day is the world's most expensive fleece. They're a very small animal, smaller than the baby over there. And a vicuna sweater will start about, I don't know, $5,000.
Wow.
And really rich and affluent, generationally rich people that are aware of what vicuna is in Europe and in Asia, they will have business suits made out of vicuna, and they'll start around 100,000.
Oh my goodness.
But it is the softest fiber on the planet. It also wicks moisture and everything, but the world population of a wild animal vicuna is still less than 200,000. So they're very much endangered. And they are the protected animal of Peru. And that's Chewy. He's the big snake guy. He's very proficient. Oh, he's just so kickback all the time.
Yeah.
At nighttime, he runs around. This is a blue-eyed white. This is an albino, so she's a pretty rare animal as well.
Yeah, look at her eyes.
She is a non-breeder because that's associated with deafness.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, well, those two are chewing cud. So, come on. Yeah, well, we might as well just put that. So this girl here really has amazing fleece. Now, in the world of fiber, the smaller the diameter, the softer. Let's see if she wants to suck on my fingers today. Sometimes she will. She's funny. Yeah, Belle, you're going to suck on my fingers? I need to get some salt, don't I? Then she'll just sit there and suck all over my fingers. In the world of fiber, the smaller the diameter, the softer, and that's in man-made, natural, any type. So that you kind of understand the numbers, an average human hair is 125 microns, an average alpaca is 26 microns. A vicuna, the wild animal, is 11.
Wow.
Alpacas, that black girl out there is 16. Very exceptional alpaca. Hershey here is probably a 22. Ted's probably a 22 as well. So when you've got animals that are below 20, they're pretty valuable in the world of getting the value out of the fleece. It will process extremely soft. And when you're feeding these animals now, you got to realize these guys are dirt rollers. They like to roll in dirt. It seems to keep insects from bothering them. It's kind of like they think it's a cat bath or whatever, dirt. Now when we shear them, we will blow that out. And it'll be maybe 80-90% cleaner, but then it goes through a machine that cleans it again before processing. So
I have a question. So so his, I always say fur, it's fleece, I guess, is 20 micron, and so is his.
Mm-hmm.
And yet his has that furriness where like your fingers won't go through it, and his looks like you could comb it.
yeah, this has a wave and a crimp to it.
Yeah.
Wakaya has a wave and a crimp.
Okay.
So let's see if he's calmed down enough to watch my finger here. You see how?
Oh, yeah, it's as deep as your finger.
Yeah, and where this guy,
It lays down, yeah.
if he's calm, that's what I used to do with him all the time. We'll see if we can stay out of the light from the door because it'll shine. It's okay, Hirsch. I'm just trying this. This may not work. You might. Can you see?
Oh, yeah.
That wave and crimp and how it's cleaner? Yeah, Hirsch, I would never hurt you. So that is what it's about. So when these guys are sheared, they look like the skinniest poodles you ever seen.
Sure, sure.
So there's a whole lot of fiber there and not a whole lot of meat. These are not a meat animal. Anybody says there's a meat animal just can't do basic math. Sheep is a meat animal because $15 worth of fleece is not as much as $80 worth of meat. Mm-hmm. After processing cost, you got $80 worth of meat. Mm-hmm. Okay, these guys have got $80 worth of meat. When I process, I get $500-600. Hence a fleece animal instead of a meat animal. Sheep wool's byproduct, but the byproduct is the wool.
Right.
In alpaca, the byproduct would be when an animal's old in South America, they would eat it because it passed, but you don't kill the gold mine until the last moment.
Right, right.
So it's a totally different mindset, alpaca versus other, types of animals. They do all have their own personality too. They hang in family groups. They remember that forever. So it's family groups or it's friendship groups. Hirsch and Ted, for example, were born within 2 weeks of each other, and they hang pretty well together. These two are brothers, and they've learned to tolerate each other. This is all girls here. So girls will put up with each other, but they'll hang in their individual family groups. So say mom and daughter and granddaughter and great-granddaughter, they'll all be in a little circle within 20, 30, 40 feet.
And they know.
And they know, and they know that forever. And if one of them in the group is sold and comes back on shearing day, they know sister came home. So I'm going to get the halter. If you hold Ted for a minute, I'll go get the lead rope so you can walk him, okay?
Hold it.
That was disgusting when that one started.
Okay, so if you hold on to that and you pull a little bit, he'll go anywhere you go.
Do you want
Go
to
on,
stay
Ted,
here in the
pull.
barn, or?
You can go outside wherever. Just watch where you step. We don't want you tripping. Go on, Ted. The other day I had a group of kids here that their parents were here for a long time. They ate lunch and everything. They must have walked Ted nonstop for 2 hours.
Oh, wow. Go get it.
Are they ever used as pack animals?
Never.
Just
Llamas are twice the size. I have seen some train where two of them will pull those little two-wheeled carts.
can you crossbreed alpacas and llamas?
You never want to do that. You'd end up with fleece that's not worth anything.
And something that's too small to pack any.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is possible.
Oh yeah, it is possible. In South America they do that, but it's generally just people that are trying to fraud the label of alpaca. So if you see something that's labeled alpaca and it's cheap and it's not soft, that's what you're dealing with, is that hybrid between a llama and an alpaca.
So it is a hybrid, it won't have offspring then?
Most of the time they won't. Sometimes they will. It's kind of one of those flukes of nature thing. But that animal in South America, they call that the hybrid. It's called a Hazaro. And like some of the stores will sell a Hazaro sweater as an alpaca, and because it's cheap, it's not as soft. It might be $59, $69, and I just wish people would call it what it is, Hazaro. And then they come over here and they're brokenhearted when they find out they didn't get an alpaca sweater. And I probably have that happen twice a month.
There's that alpaca store over in Boulder.
That's where they're getting
Is that
them.
where they're getting them?
Yeah. And then they come over here and they're all, well, I got one for $59, you're high priced. And I just say, go feel mine. And they go, what did I buy? And I say, do you really want to know? I'll tell you. And it's a good $59 sweater. Don't let me say it's not a good sweater. It is a good sweater.
It's just not the same.
It's just not soft like alpaca. All these animals are DNA registered. They're all microchipped. Because an animal that is perfect in as many ways as possible, it can be very valuable. Like the black girl's dad is a $100,000 animal.
Is that the one that's over there?
The mama of the baby, that one.
Okay.
Now this male we have here, he has not been in enough shows to build that reputation, to build that value. Now shearing day, we're looking forward to that. That's our harvest.
Yeah.
That's when everything goes 2 bags, one for each animal, and we find out how we did this year on nutrition, because nutrition will affect fleece quality. But we've been doing it for 10 years here, so it's going to be optimum.
So how does that, from the animal to the products that you sell, does it go out somewhere for that processing and then come back?
It does.
But is it at all your own fleece?
Some things are fiber pools, some things are 100% our fiber. For example, a high quality sock machine is between $60,000 and $100,000. So we are certified sorters. So that means we've gone through the schooling process and the classes and that. So when I say, okay, this fiber here is clean, ready for processing, and a 20 to 22 micron fleece, it is. So that'll fit certain pools. That way we can keep our socks much more reasonably priced, and we have top quality. all of that
And
stuff.
then me and Luke.
And built this from scratch.
So
Sure
those
does.
animals, all of that fleece or fur that comes off those animals, then get turned into things like little teddy bears and socks and those sweaters. So their fleece is very, very useful to us and helps us have things that are nice
Now,
and keep us warm.
because it dries so fast, there's nothing cooler in the heat
Touch this
than
one.
an
I don't want you
alpaca
touching the
sock.
white one. There you go.
Oh, really?
Yep, because your feet are dry and breathing and your skin is more healthy when it's dry.
Wait,
All of the socks will do that.
Puppy, stop.
Yeah, soft. Where'd you find it? Get over here.
He's one of them forest fire guys, jumps out of planes, puts the fire out, and then carries his 80-pound backpack 20 miles to go home. And then on his days off, what does he do? Does this 50-mile race. I think he's crazy.